Consumer Watchdog sent a letter to California Attorney General Jerry Brown asking his office to investigate United Healthcare and another insurer, Wellpoint, for allegedly violating California's labor code by pressuring employees to lobby against reform. The letter says, in part, while coercive communications with employees may be legal, if abhorrent in most states, California's labor code appears to directly prohibit them. The Attorney General's office says it's reviewing the letter, leaving open the question of the claim's legitimacy. Joining me now is the president of Consumer Watchdog, Jamie Court. His organization wrote the letter asking Attorney General Jerry Brown to investigate United Healthcare Group and Wellpoint. Mr. Court, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Now, what California labor laws does your group believe that United Healthcare Group or United Health Group and Wellpoint might have violated?
Well, the labor code clearly says that no company can control or direct the political activities of employees. And when you have a health insurer telling employees, we're going to contact you during business hours about getting involved in a lobbying campaign to stop a government-run option that's going to put this industry out of business in those terms, that's a pretty big way of controlling activity. This wasn't just giving information on both sides of an issue. This was aggressive lobbying. Anthem Wellpoint directed its employees to a website where you can contact members of Congress with a specific message to stop the government-run public option and save the private industry, asked them to write letters, and it made them register and log in. So a big component here is the surveillance, the control, the fact that someone's being contacted at the office, not at home, being told what to say and what to do, and also being urged to attend town halls. We think that's controlling, directing to control political activity. And having been part of these town halls in Southern California, I can tell you there was an unbelievable amount of professional organizing, and there were rank and file soldiers. And now we're really wondering how many of them were for the health insurance companies themselves.
Now, one argument would be that it's in the insurance company's interest to fight against this reform. So how is it not? Isn't it also in the employees of those insurance companies' interest to be on the same side as their employer? But you're saying that because of the surveillance and because of the lack of options here, that's what makes the difference.
Well, they shouldn't be. You call them at home afterwards. You don't link it to their employment. You know, United Health it says it's voluntary, but then why are you sending out a letter to employees on company stationery? Why are you doing it? Why are you contacting them during business hours with a very specific, dire message? I mean, this is really companies that are desperate to put their soldiers in the field. So being an employee, you have the right to get involved in political activity, but you shouldn't be coerced into it. You shouldn't be having your employer tell you what to do, and shouldn't be doing it on business hours. I mean, if it's being done during business hours, that's a company not just encouraging you, but directing and controlling you. And if I'm an employee and my employer tells someone to call me at my office about getting involved in the lobbying campaign, I'm wondering, if I don't, what are the repercussions, particularly when the language is dire here. And
that brings us to the next question, which is that do you have any whistleblowers? Do you have any indication that there are people that worked for United Health Group or Wellpoint who were upset by this, who have come to you or have made complaints to other people that you've heard third hand that they were upset about this tactic?
Well, actually, after the story appeared in the LA Times, we have had some employees contact us who were upset about the practice. Forward those names to the investigators at the Attorney General's office. So it's clearly something that doesn't settle well with some employees. But also, you know, if you're an employee at these companies, while when you're being told, look, this industry could be put out of business if health care reform succeeds, and if there is a public option to the private market, then you're really wondering, wow, what are my options here? And that, to me, is controlling or directing political activity. Well, it's not simply providing information.
Well, we're definitely going to be following this really closely. Jamie Court, president of Consumer Watchdog, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.